Hi, I'm Candy. It's really hard for me to find the words to say to elaborate on the things I brought up in the last video. That was the original goal for this one, but instead, since it's Christmas Eve today, I was gonna say happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to those who don't celebrate Christmas. Um, I wanted to just take a look at what has changed in a positive way and what steps I'm taking to just make sure my wellness is going to be maintained. Um, I I don't really know if I should encourage others to do this, but I don't know. I found that treatments and programs were not working in my favor. They just were not helpful to me. They actually, if anything, made me feel worse in a lot of ways. When I was in those places, a lot of people were just not focused on their treatment. Um, they were there because of the law. They were put there by a judge or something, or just, I don't know, maybe making other people happy. But the majority of people I would be with in those programs were just not influencing me in a positive way at all. And before I got like that, I got sick um, and into substances. I was never really impressionable. I really had my own mind and never let people influence my decisions. But being that out of it and just in such an unhealthy state, I wasn't myself at all. So I was very impressionable and susceptible to just follow in other people's footsteps. And when I just saw this pattern, because I kept trying and trying to make it work in programs and thought that was the only thing that would work because that's what those places kind of promote the idea that you cannot make it without a program or groups and stuff like that. Um, Also, therapy didn't help much either because it did not prevent me from getting that sick. I have been in therapy since I was 5 years old. I did everything I was supposed to do in terms of wellness. I took my meds properly. I was so candid in my appointments and honest and just did everything possible to do what was asked of me, and I got nowhere. So I don't think I was ever really designed to gain anything from these kind of things, even though it's very rare to hear that. So instead, once I realized that this just was the pattern, that I was kind of left to my own devices, I basically barricaded myself in my house with my parents. Um, I moved in with my parents once they came back to the area, because I was living on my own for a while. But I'm very close to my mom and very close to my stepdad too. So I just felt like moving in. It wasn't really like because I couldn't function alone. I really just missed them. And yeah, I know I'm getting up there in age, but I'm I'm just really happy to be around my parents. I don't understand people that are like, you know, so like distant from their family. Like, I don't know. I can't be like that, so it's just not me. Anyway, my parents have been so supportive through this whole thing and amazing. And when I decided to just, try things my way and put myself through my own detox, I explained this to my family and they were supportive, like I said. Um, I made it a point to disconnect from everything in the outside world. because that's the approach they take, in facilities. I it wasn't even hard for me, really. I just refused to go on Facebook or Instagram or any social media. And even the programs I watched on television, I would just really make sure that they were appropriate and the content would be wholesome, because I was trying to get any sort of rebellion out of my system and just focus on being a good girl, which was a great idea because it worked. Um, I I had weak moments, of course. It was really hard in the beginning, obviously, because I was just physically, I felt like I was dying, and emotionally, I was just in shambles. So, um, in addition to that, I was going through a breakup and um, had a lot of friends that just turned their backs on me. So, which I don't completely blame them because I was a mess. But, you would think that they would kind of check up on me once in a while, but nah, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get people. But, yeah, that's what was going on. I also made sure to, um, I didn't have an appetite, so I would just drink Ensure, which really, really helped. Um, but it gets expensive. Um, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. So I instead of really giving in to my fears and discomfort and pain, I would remind myself that the pain comes in waves. It's not gonna be there forever. It's like the yin and yang of life. When I would just be so overwhelmed with everything, I'd kind of sit back and meditate and just silence my brain, or try to at least. Um, yeah, so that's what I did, and like I said, I'm a weirdo. I'm very different from most people. It's not every day you hear someone say that programs didn't help, and I'm not trying to say that to anyone that's seeking help. I can't stress enough, I am very bizarre and very different, and what I did was just um, I just tried to do the best I could by myself, and I was just very lucky, very fortunate. So, if anyone has questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for watching, and I will post something soon. Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.